also the ones that are doing the steering. When you're dealing with oversteer, try to resist overcorrecting because you might turn the wheels too far and suddenly snap the car around the other way. Instead, point the wheels where you want to go and floor it. The rear wheels are gonna follow the front. When you're comfortable you can save it from spinning, why not try initiating a little oversteer with the handbrake through a few turns to practice? Rear-wheel drive cars have a tendency to oversteer when you're on throttle, so controlling your inputs is crucial to maintaining stability. If you feel the car is understeering through tight turns, you can give it more gas to bring the back end around, but be ready to countersteer. Avoid heavy weight transfer because it can be hard to recover from a slide without totally losing momentum. Try to keep your drifts to shallow angles and carefully manage your inputs to control the amount of oversteer. you traction at all four corners of the car, so you can approach turns at higher speeds and throw the car in more aggressively. Don't be afraid to get on throttle earlier through a corner to maximize your speed. You're more likely to face understeer than oversteer because your front wheels are driven. So think about weight transfer when you throw the car into a corner and manage your gas and brake to control the angle. On looser surfaces, the car's going to change direction slower and slide more before regaining traction. Adjust your racing line to compensate for conditions. To regain traction with the car sliding, try to balance the throttle to limit wheel spin and regain traction on a loose surface. When you're sideways, you can adjust your slip angle with the gas and the brakes. brake traction on a paved surface compared to a loose one. Try to push as hard as you can using smooth, sweeping racing lines to maintain speed through the turn. A little bit of tire squeal is a good sign that you're pushing the car to its limits, but if you feel the wheels starting to slide, try to ease off. Keep a smooth line. Sometimes you can make up time by skipping over the apex, but watch what's under your wheels. Obstacles like curbs can unsettle the car. A quick jab of the handbrake can break traction and help get you around tight hairpins. Rallycross circuits feature a mix of surfaces, so being adaptable is the key to fast lap time. Control the throttle carefully on slippery surfaces and try to keep it tight on the pavement. The way to build speed between turns is to maximize your traction. When transitioning from a loose surface to a harder one through a corner, you can attack at speed because the traction change will neutralize some of the oversteer. When you're going the other way, like from pavement to gravel, the effect is the opposite, so you need to scrub enough speed to ensure you don't run wide at the corner exit. Snow stages are exclusive to Sweden can present a unique challenge. Your car is automatically fitted with studded snow tires, so it's going to feel like you're on gravel. You're going to encounter a mix of snow surfaces and a variety of grip levels, but the distribution of the grip tends to be more uniform across the width of the road than you'll find with gravel. A typical snow surface features a layer of snow over ice, gravel, or tarmac. Your tires are going to naturally sink into the snow, making a big roost behind the car. A buildup of snow against the side of the tire gives you some resistance to slides and the illusion of a grippier surface. That resistance will subtly slow your forward motion too. You'll also find patches of compacted snow, a much harder surface the tire doesn't sink into. It's going to feel like it has less grip, but it's actually faster. When you hit slushy snow, you'll see the color of the underlying road surface showing through the racing line. Grip's going to be inconsistent across the road as you transition between slush and snow, so your best bet is to stick to the worn tracks whenever you can. Built up along the side of the road are the famous Swedish snowbanks. You gotta watch out, because they'll grab the car if you hit them too hard, and that'll be the end of your rally. But you can use them too. If you drag the tail of your car through them, they'll help keep you straight on corner exits. Careful though, there's a fine line between brushing the bank and digging in, which makes this one of the most advanced snow driving techniques you can master. Throughout your career, weather's going to play a huge part in your successes and your failures. You'll experience sun, rain, mist, fog, and snow, all with varying degrees of intensity. The characteristics of the track surface are going to change from stage to stage, and sprawling vistas suddenly change from beautiful scenery to deadly sheer drops hidden behind a thick layer of fog. Each condition demands your respect and requires a different approach to driving. Sunny conditions give you the best visibility of the track ahead, and if it hasn't rained recently, the surface will also be dry. In rally, push hard when it's sunny and dry to make up for time lost in wet conditions or to gain an advantage if the weather changes. In Rallycross and Land Rush, visibility can actually be worse due to the dust and debris kicked up from dry, loose surfaces. Try different lines to avoid getting lost in your opponent's dust. Wet conditions reduce grip levels and, depending on how heavy it's raining, can impact visibility. In rally, put your faith in your co-driver in low visibility conditions and adjust your attack to compensate for the reduced grip. In Rallycross and Land Rush, visibility will be better on loose surfaces, but settled water on pavement is going to cause a lot of spray. Fog is only a consideration in rally. When it occurs, it can severely reduce your visibility, and it'll test the trust between you and your co-driver. Keep an eye out for any obstacles beyond your co-driver's control, like stranded cars, and consider taking it slightly easier in these conditions if you can. Snow is exclusive to Sweden, and it's one of the most challenging surfaces you can drive. Your car's going to be surprisingly capable in its snow setup, but the snowbanks and overplow at the side of the road can be punishing if you get offline. Managing wheel spin with careful throttle control is key to maintaining traction. If snow is falling as you drive, visibility can be a challenge, so consider when to push and when to play it safe. Driving a night stage can be one of the toughest challenges in rally. With corners and obstacles obscured by darkness until the lights pick them up at the last second, you need to put your complete trust in your co-driver to continue to post fast stage times. Supporting your main headlights, an additional light pod is attached to your car for night stages. This casts a far stronger beam, adding a lot of illumination to the road ahead. It's important you don't damage your lights during the stage, otherwise you'll find yourself in pitch black in the middle of nowhere. If there's no service area before a night stage, be careful where you put the front of the car. Any serious damage could also prevent the light pod from working when it's attached. If you do have damaged lights when you get to the service area, check the event details to determine if there's a night stage coming up. If there is, your lights can be repaired by fixing the body lights component in the service area. Your crew chief will also prioritize your lights if you ask him for his recommendations. negotiate corners that come immediately after jumps, you need to make sure you're at the right speed before takeoff. So I'm heading straight toward the jump. I'm watching my speed, and I'm making sure I can land in the right place to take the corner without hitting the red markers. When you drive into water at speed or on an angle, you'll feel resistance against the car that affects your trajectory. Try to adjust your racing line and anticipate your speed. Watch out that you don't hit the water too hard, or it could really tear up your car. Camber is an important factor. There are two types of road camber, positive and negative. Positive camber is when the road is sloped toward the inside of the corner. It can be used like banking through the corner for higher cornering speeds. Negative camber is when the road surface is sloped away from the inside of the corner. This naturally tries to force the car away from the apex, pushing you wide, so you want to use lower speeds. Your co-driver will warn you with an off-camber call. In isolation, camber or off-camber corners are pretty easy to deal with, but when they're combined in a sequence of turns, it can be tricky, especially when you're on a road with crown in the middle, and you get both types together. Be careful, because if you get on the wrong side of it, the car can become unstable. Good car positioning is the key to getting the most out of each type of camber. Looks like you're really getting the hang of this now. When you're ready to move on, just exit through the Dirt Academy hub. You can always return later to practice, test cars, and try more lessons.
By completing your induction at the Dirt Academy, you've earned your first license. This has given you access to regional rally events over in Michigan, where you can start your career. Welcome to the home of Dirt 4. From here, you can choose events to find the on-track action. My team becomes available once you buy a car of your own, allowing you to set up and manage your own racing team. Choose vehicles to find your garage and buy new cars for your collection. From time to time, you will receive messages in your mailbox. Lastly, choose options and extras to find extra content or configure your game preferences.